Right-wing media, as well as Republicans in Congress, are now lining up behind the move to investigate and possibly lock up anyone who tells people their rights. They previously used to pretend that they cared about rights. Rights were super important, but the Constitution is now garbage. It's toilet paper to the right. They don't give a damn about it. And so how dare you even bring it up? So impolite of you. And so if you're a member of the media, if you're an activist, if you're an NGO, if you're a member of Congress, and you tell people their actual rights, they want you locked up. And the Daily Caller just has they're practically masturbating as they're posting this. There's no criticism whatsoever. If we bring up this front page, House Republicans urge Pam Bondi to prosecute officials and left-wing activists subverting deportation efforts. And so they'll say far-left politicians and NGOs are flouting the law under the assumption that it will not be enforced. We ask that you demonstrate that such violations will not be tolerated. Well, first of all, if they were breaking the law because they thought it wouldn't be enforced, you'd have to forgive them. Laws are very rarely being enforced these days. It's kind of the theme of 2025. That said, what law are they violating? I don't know. Daily Caller's not saying. House Republicans who wrote this letter to Pam Bondi aren't saying. In fact, they're being pretty clear that the law isn't being broken because they're not even saying it's being broken. They're saying they're flouting the law. Oh no, don't flout. Not with an economy like this, you can't go around flouting. And so the letter doesn't specifically name AOC, but we know that this is what this is about. And so we're gonna get to her in a sec, but just to be clear, Daily Caller, which for years would have prided itself as being pro-Constitution and your rights and your freedoms and your liberties, and the government is tyrannical and you have to fight against them. You might have to shoot them all in the head. Now, oh, you said something that's totally fine under the law, but it kind of like hampers Trump a little bit because there's women selling empanadas that we need to send to Latin America or whatever. You're going to jail, okay? Freedom of speech, forget that. That's for calling people the N-word on Twitter. It's not for letting people know what their rights are. No, you can call someone an R-word or something. That's good freedom of speech stuff. But a congressperson making sure that people know their rights as a dictator comes into his power, that's obviously unacceptable and you should be locked up. And look at the little cover story they provide for it. Tom Homan, he went on Fox News and said, let's hope she's not educating the next person who gets out and murders a young college student in Georgia. These are bad people we're looking for. Yeah, are those people you're deporting? What about the middle school science teacher? Oh no, he might have gotten advice from AOC. What about the empanada woman? What about the kids that were deported in that particular case? Again, why don't you talk about the people you're actually deporting rather than these boogeymen that you're just making up? But of course, they're not going to. They're trying to scare people into compliance. And this is, I'll close on this, I apologize, I'm talking a lot, it's a big topic. For decades, the right was saying the government is going to come and they're going to take your rights and they're going to try to get you to surrender them. They're going to beat you into submission, they're going to use propaganda, they're going to fearmonger to you so that you hand over your rights. What the F do you think this is? They do not want you to know your actual rights. They want to lock people up for educating you about them and to get you to lie down, face and lips pressed against the dirt. They're gonna fearmonger about, oh, you'll probably be murdered by a Guatemalan. That's it. Give up all your rights. Screw the Constitution. Bill of Rights, antiquated because there's scary Hondurans around. And unfortunately, there are millions of people perfectly ready to hand over their rights under that. Sharon, again, I apologize.
No, don't.
I gotta, what do you think about this? Give me your thoughts.
Spot on. You're right, they told us forever. They're taking your guns, they're doing this and that. They're stealing your children and turning them trans. Build a bunker, have powdered milk and rations and things. They really want you in the bunker and to not engage at all. Just pay taxes so they can steal it. I love what AOC did here. Bring it on. I'm not afraid of you. Indict me, do it. You are a loser. She basically called him out, this Holman guy who admits to conspiracies and collusion on Fox News pretty much daily, okay? He's not been able to round up all of these illegals, with the air quotes, because there's not that many and because this was all a scam. It's a scam. They're hurting people for sure. They are getting people for sure, not violent criminals. This guy is a loser. I'm with AOC. Bring it on. Let's go ahead and make her the test case. Indict her. Let's see what happens here. Go ahead and do it.
100%. And if AOC decides to take that role even more than she already has, then I think she's going to find that she has a lot of people supporting her. I want her to do that. I want her to stand up against Donald Trump more than any of the other Democrats. I mean, she basically already is, but even more than she is now. I also, at the same time, have been calling for her to institute an informal coup against the Democratic Party and declare herself their spokesperson as well, because that is what she is. We might as well formalize it. And I know, with what counts for, like, the actual laws mean nothing, and things that aren't violations of the law now could land you in jail forever. Again, chaos and crime is what we get with Donald Trump as president. I know that there's probably some concern, like if you stand up against them, what might happen? But I would remind AOC that she who saves her country violates no law. I keep telling myself that, and I'm pretty sure Napoleon agreed. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?